Good morning and welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I am StevieB. We got plenty of sips, smacks, and haterade to go around, and just when you think people can't piss you off any earlier in the morning, I'm halfway through making this video and I get a call from some idiot wanting to sell me senior care stuff. So we're going to do this again. Guys, Summer Mayhem has officially started. The competition opened this morning. We're going to be busy because we've got Summer Mayhem, we've got boxes to loot, we've got Summer Migration right after that. After Summer Migration ends, I've got something super important I got to head off world to do. So I wanted to make this very special video all about amps. This was a Stevie request. I had a Stevie hit me up and say, hey, I want a video about amps, so here we are. So let me walk you guys through the thought process of how I pick an amp. And to pick an amp, we have to start with the weapon. So I'm here at the auctioneer, and let's say I want to find a limited weapon that I know is going to work for me in Mayhem. So first of all, I go to weapons, and I go to ranged, because I want a ranged weapon, and I'm going to try and pick something close to the DPS limit for my category without going over. So Armatrix BP 35. If I spell it right, that usually helps. Okay, so now I will click the info page. And this is a BLP pistol. It's the Armatrix BP 35. So first things first, on the very front page, I want to see that it has 75 ped full TT value. It is a limited item, and it does 57.8 damage per second, DPS. So this is going to be perfect for category 3, which is what I'm in. So this is the weapon I want. But before I make that final decision, let's check the info stats. Notice it's got a base efficiency of 64.4. That's pretty good. This is why I like the Armatrix line. They usually have a pretty decently high base efficiency. Tier increase rate on this one is not superb, but you know, it's the only one of two that's on auction. The other one isn't any better. So we take what we can get. Notice that the recommended level, I am already about 5 to 6 levels higher than recommended. So I'm also going to already be out of the skill increase bonus period. Skill increase bonus period ends at profession 40, and I'm profession 41.9 and 41.4. Notice that this is a BLP weapon. That's very important when you're talking about firearms of any type in game. There's laser weapons and there's BLP weapons. This is BLP. That will come in handy in a minute when we look for an amp. Notice that I'm almost maxed on the stats. If we go backwards, I've got 10 out of 10 critical hit and regular hit. I'm doing the full damage interval, and the only stat I don't have maxed is I am 1 attack per minute away from fully maxing the weapon. So other than that 1 attack per minute being off, I'm fully maxed. Other than that. So 99.99999% maxed. So since I am not going to be able to move up to the BP 40, and even if I could, it would probably be over the DPS limit that I need, this is the weapon I'm going to go with. So I click purchase, and one comes into my inventory here. Now see this little pin button up here by the X? If I hit this pin button, it will allow me to keep this window open. So I'm going to keep it open. I'm going to drag it over here. So we're going to go back to auction. We're going to exit out of our search. And under weapons, I am going to go down to the very bottom where it says weapon attachments. Now it's going to give me the options of amplifiers, laser sights, or scopes. So I want an amplifier. And then it gives me 3 different options: BLP, melee, or energy. So I think they should just replace the word energy with laser, but they have not. So just know that energy means laser. So that's why we'll say energy/laser. So we have BLP amps, energy/laser amps, and melee amps. A melee amp will not work on a firearm. A firearm amp will not work on a melee item like a sword. A BLP amplifier will not work on a laser weapon. A laser weapon will not. A laser amp will not work on a BLP weapon. So you need to match the type of amplifier to the type of weapon. And then you also need to match up the type of damages. So here's how we do that. So do I have a melee weapon? No, it's not a sword, it's a pistol. Okay, do I have an energy/laser weapon? No, it's a BLP weapon. So I want to pick only BLP amplifiers. Now there are unlimited amplifiers, like this one here, the Fyraco Evil Mod, 70% efficiency. Here's all the stats. But notice it's 3000 ped. I want a limited amplifier that is going to match up pretty well with my limited firearm. So how do I do that? Well, the first thing that I do is I look here at the damage interval. Notice the damage interval on the weapon is 25.5 through 51 damage per shot. Notice that is also the max damage interval that the weapon is capable of because the weapon is maxed. The biggest amplifier a weapon can handle is always going to be equal to or less than the lower of these two numbers on the damage interval. So the absolute biggest amplifier that I can put on here is a BLP amplifier that does 25.5 damage or less. If I have a BLP amplifier that does more than 25.5 damage, I am wasting ped, I am wasting decay, I am losing efficiency. I can put a BLP amplifier on here that does 1 damage. I can put one on here that does 10 damage. I can put one on here that does 25 damage. I can put one on here that does 25.5 damage. As soon as I get higher than 25.5, I am wasting everything because it cannot handle it. It can only handle an amplifier up to the smaller of the two damage interval numbers. So I need a BLP amplifier that can do 25.5 damage or less. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, first of all, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to search for Armatrix because I only want to look at Armatrix amps at the moment. I'm going to search by highest buyout, and then I'm going to go back one page to show me the lowest buyout first. Now, what I love about Armatrix amps is the way they're named. We've got the 45P, the 4P, the 8P, the 25P. How do you know what damage they do? It literally tells you. This right here does 45 damage. If I pull up the item info page, penetration damage 45, ammo burn 945 per shot. So notice it's literally named the same with Armatrix amps. If it does 45 damage, it's called the Armatrix B Amplifier 45P. So notice that I'm already under BLP amplifiers with my category, so that's how I know that this is a BLP amplifier. So I can go, bam, okay, where's the one closest to 25? Well, I got a 25 right here. Bam, look at that. An Armatrix B amplifier 25P, 85% efficiency, penetration damage 25%, or 25 points. So notice that this would match up. Notice I've got 25 damage on the amp, and 25.5 damage is the lower of the two damage interval numbers. So here's the thing. I'm not going to find an Armatrix amplifier that does 25.5 damage. They rounded off to whole numbers. So it would make no sense even if there was a 26 amplifier, because I would be over the 25.5 limit. So in this case, I would buy the 25P. So I would do that, add it to my inventory, and bam, there it is, right there. I bought these last night so I can make this video today. So now I know that I have the right amp to go with the right weapon. So here's something pretty cool, guys. As a general rule, what do amps do? Let's look at them side by side here. Let's pin this one too. As a general rule, amplifiers allow us to make our weapon do more damage with less cost. That is because they have a lower ammo burn per damage done. It's also because they usually have a little bit less decay, right? Notice that the durability on the weapon itself is very good. The durability on the amplifier is excellent. Notice that the ammo burn on the weapon is 1103, and it does 25 to 51 damage per shot. The ammo burn on the amp is only 525, and it's going to be doing a maximum of 25 damage per shot. So we've got a little bit better decay, so the amplifier might even last longer than the weapon depending on the TT value. It's 50 ped TT versus 75 for the weapon, so they might burn out about the same time. But notice that because of the better stats, we also have better efficiency. Our efficiency on the amplifier is 85%. Our efficiency on the weapon itself is 64.4%. So as a general rule of thumb, if you properly match up the right amplifier to the right weapon, if the amplifier has a better efficiency rating than the weapon, then adding that amplifier to that weapon theoretically should increase the efficiency of the weapon, because you're transferring some of the extra efficiency from the amp to the weapon. You're transferring some of the extra discounted ammo cost and discounted decay to the weapon, making the weapon more efficient. So let's look at the weapon and amp I actually bought, which is the exact same ones we used in the example. So base efficiency of 64.4 and efficiency on the amp of 85. So now if I put the amp on the weapon, notice I raised the efficiency from 64.4 to 71%. And when I added the amplifier, you'll notice some things turned orange. Anything that the amplifier changed is going to turn orange. So I changed the efficiency, I increased the ammo burn, and I increased the damage interval. The damage interval is now 38 to 76. So every time I fire this weapon, I'm going to be doing at least 38 damage, possibly 76 max. That's unless I hit a crit. If I hit a critical, it can be more than 76. So now I want to take it a step further, because StevieB plays eco, so I have an extender here, and I'm going to put the extender on. The extender is going to increase my efficiency even more. It's going to bring my efficiency up to 71.2%. So it's just going to give me a little extra 0.2% bump. So I'm going to detach all those attachments. Now let's look at a situation where maybe you don't want an amplifier, or where an amplifier would not be a good thing. So I'm going to run to storage real quick. And I'm going to go to weapons. And notice that I have an unlimited amplifier. This is a Fireco Beast. It's not modified or improved. It does total damage of 19. The 17 pin and the 2 impact. 200 ammo cost, 68.2% base efficiency. So what would happen if, let's say, I was to put this unlimited Beast amplifier onto this limited BP35? So notice 64.4% efficiency on the gun, 68.2% on the Beast, and notice that the Beast does 19 damage, whereas this can handle an amp that does up to 25. So we're still below the limit, right? So notice it still raises the efficiency a little bit, but not a ton. It still raises it just a hair. It takes us up about 1% instead of the 6% efficiency raise we get with the other one, right? And notice it takes us to 35 to 70 damage instead of 38 to 76 or whatever it was. And we've got a little bit less on the ammo burn. So I could use this unlimited amp on this limited weapon. I'm just losing about 6% in efficiency if I do that. But I'm also giving up having to pay the repetitive 126, 130% markup on the amps if I go this way, right? So that's an option. When would it absolutely not be an option to use an amp? Let's look at the BP20 FEN Unlimited. Let's look at it. So notice this weapon has a base efficiency of 83.2%, right? So, and it can do a total of 16.5 damage absolute max. If I put an amp on there, it needs to do 16 damage or less. So let's see here, that's a BP28. This is going to be a really bad example, but let's try the Beast. Notice I actually get a warning that says your weapon cannot utilize the maximum effect of this amplifier, right? That's nice that they added that. And notice the Beast actually drops the efficiency to 77.4%. So it actually gives me worse efficiency. So here's one of the big problems with the BP20 FEN. Most of your unlimited, in fact all of your unlimited BLP amps have efficiencies below roughly 70%. They're usually 55 to 70% efficiency. Even the limited amps, other than the Armatrix amps, when you're talking BLP, usually have efficiency below 80%. So to put an amp on the BP20 FEN would not necessarily be smart, because yes, you're increasing the damage output, but you're lowering the efficiency. And the whole point of having the BP20 FEN to begin with is to have that higher efficiency, right? So it's generally not a good idea. Now, there are Armatrix amplifiers out there that are BLP that have just the right amount of 16 damage that I could amp them, and the efficiency is just high enough at 85% that if I amp it, it leaves the efficiency of the gun at 83.2%. But again, those are all limited amplifiers, so as I burn through them, I'm having to pay markup on them that's about 120, 130% per amplifier. So burning through them, yes, I'm adding damage output, but I'm also increasing my cost of use, because not only am I paying the decay, but I'm paying that markup over and over and over and over and over, and it gets very expensive very quickly. For that reason, 99 times out of 100, you will not see me amp the BP20 FEN. I just will not do it. Very, very, very rare occasion, maybe. But outside of a very, very, very rare occasion, it's highly unlikely you will see me amp the BP20 FEN, because yes, I'm getting extra damage output, but I'm also paying extremely high markup, and it's not moving the efficiency needle at all. It literally keeps it exactly the same, and any other amp would actually lower the efficiency. So for that reason, I would not amp. So this is the thought process I go through literally every single time I figure out what kind of amp I want to use. I literally have to look at the efficiency of the weapon. I look at the damage interval, because that lower number is always going to be the maximum output that an amp can have, that the weapon can handle. And I also want to see, does the amplifier have a high enough efficiency to keep the efficiency of the weapon I'm using the same or higher. Those are all the important factors. Remember, we want to match BLP weapons with BLP amps. We want to match laser weapons with laser amps. We want to match melee weapons with melee amps. There are limited and unlimited amps. It depends on your play style, your budget, what you're really wanting to do. I purchased a limited amp. I will burn through it, and then after that I will probably switch over to the Beast, even with a little bit lower efficiency, because I'm not going to be using this weapon long term. This is for a very specific type of thing that I'm going to be doing the next 24 hours or so. So amps generally are good because they, if used properly, increase the damage output, they lower the ammo burn, they increase the efficiency. Amps are a way to essentially make your weapon more economical and more efficient, and to get discounted ammo burn, discounted damage, and discounted decay. Think of it this way. If the weapon does 16 to 33 damage per shot, and it's costing you 246 ammo per shot, right? And you're able to pick up an extra 5 to 10 damage per shot for a cost of only 50 ammo per shot, that's a huge discount on your damage, right? That's why the efficiency goes up. Again, people want to argue with me, well, efficiency isn't the end-all, damage per peck is. What is the biggest thing in calculating efficiency? Damage per peck. Thank you. So anytime we're able to increase the amount of damage we're doing while lowering the amount of peck it takes to do it, we're increasing the efficiency, right? For people who want to argue with me that it's not the biggest factor, throw an amp on there and see what happens. Your efficiency will increase if you're lowering the cost to shoot it. Hence, you are raising your damage per peck. So this has been the quick down and dirty guide to amplifiers. Guys, there are some amplifiers out there that cost an absolute fortune. You can hop on auction any day in Entropia, and if you just go to amplifiers and go to highest first, a mod trauma 8 16,000 ped, fire coeval mod that we saw earlier 3,300 ped, hypercharged A105 laser amp 1,700 ped, a A204 hypercharged I believe is like 30,000 ped or some stupid crap like that. They're absolutely ridiculous, but they're very, very high-end amps. You don't necessarily need high-end amps. Limited amps will do just fine for the average player. If you're an average player, limited is really the way to go. If you're just Joe Blow who wants to depot 30, 40 bucks a month and have fun, I really suggest skilling up to professional level 15 as fast as you can. That way you can start using Armatrix weapons, start climbing the Armatrix ladder, and pair them with Armatrix amps and and P20 extenders to get as much life out of them if you can. Now, if you're like Uber Depositor who wants to be the next Messi, you probably need a different game plan. You probably need a different path to take, but the Armatrix ladder is still going to be helpful in certain situations. So guys, that's been all about amps with StevieB. If I didn't cover anything, let me know in the comments. If there's something I missed, let me know in the comments. There's a lot of limited amps that are junk. There's a lot of unlimited amps that are junk. I will do future videos over very specific amps like the A101. Later on, maybe even do some videos over stuff like the B101 Limited that goes on the Rubio and Exoros that new players get. For now, I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to get to grinding out some Summer Mayhem. But we hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for liking the channel. Supporting us by liking the videos and by subscribing to the channel is one of the best ways you can support us. Also, be sure and head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn, and that is the best way you can support us. Right now, earnped.com is paying 50% more for your hideout.tv points. To celebrate us hitting 1,000 subscribers and becoming a YouTube partner, we are paying 50% more at the moment for hideout.tv points. That means that we are paying out 50% more than Entropia Partners or petflow.com. Yay! Suck it, people. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to all the Stevies. Thank you to everybody new in-game and old in-game that has come back because of the videos. It's great to see this community growing. We'll be back with more videos very soon. Right now, we've got some Mayhem to go grind out. I hope you all have a great day. Take care, Stevies.